Welcome back, Mentees. The Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition. You know that because you're watching us now. And I'm joined with my lovely co-host,
Amanda, who doesn't have a nickname, so please help me come up with one.
Yeah. Help her come up with one in the comments down below. And this segment of Reviews in a Flash is brought to you by
Darkstar916.
What are we talking about today, Amanda?
We are talking about Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Back to Basics.
Back to Basics.
Yes.
Okay, this volume is rated T for teen.
So it's friendlier than everything else we've reviewed so far, for the most part.
For the most part,
yeah.
Right. This is, I would say, Volume 5 of the Amazing Spider-Man run. This is the one that started just last year, and he is joined by
Ryan Ottely as the artist,
who is famous for his Invincible run at Image.
Yes.
So, Amanda, let's talk about the premise. This review again will be spoiler free and really quick. Where's your flash?
We're using a flash.
That's
chopping
the prices.
Yes, chopping the
Whatever
prices.
you're doing. All right.
So basically what we have here with Back to Basics is just that. So Nick Spencer has taken Peter Parker back to his roots. Gone is Peter Parker Industries. Gone is all of the other things that have come along with it. And he sets him up where he is back to, going to school, back to being with MJ, which for a while he wasn't with her. And
after one more day, right? It's like he took all of Dan Slott's 10 years and went
just whoop, and erased it all.
Thanos did the shit out of there, and now Spider-Man is back to being humble, poor Peter Parker. So much so that
his Parker luck.
His Parker luck, right? So much so that he's had to move in with Randy Robertson, which is the son of his friend Robbie, who was his boss during the time at his Daily Bugle. But he's not the only roommate he has. He's also joined by Fred Meyer, who everybody knows from Spider-Man and The Deadly Foes of Spider-Man that Nick Spencer also wrote.
Yep.
As Boomerang. And he's also been in The Amazing Spider-Man for quite many years.
He is the jerkiest of jerks when it comes to being a roommate.
So it is going back to the basics, and as Amanda said, there was a lot of going back to what made Spider-Man great. And that was one of the things that a lot of people wanted to see during Dan Slott's run was him reunited with MJ because they thought One More Day was just such a shit story that it should never have happened. But hey, when you're editor and your boss tells you to do something, you do it. So now they are reunited. That's not that big of a spoiler. I think most people know that the issues have been around for about a year now. So and then we see a lot of returning foes. We're not going to tell you who the big foe is that appears in every issue.
But you see some small ones.
but we'll talk about some of the other foes that have appeared. It's a fun take on Spider-Man. It had its ups and downs. But before we get to our final score, what did you think of the artwork? Because I'm familiar with him from Invincible, but you've never seen his art really, right?
No, I have not, and it's definitely in my most uneducated form of words. A little bit more.
You have 2 degrees. What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm not in art.
Oh, okay.
It's more cartoony than what I'm used to, but I think for Spider-Man, it actually works really well. I also like the colors, which are done by Laura Martin. I think she does a good job coloring the comic as well.
I completely agree with
you.
That scene with Mary Jane was beautiful.
There are just some good panels in here, like throughout this whole volume that I really enjoy. And so I liked the color, or I liked the artwork a lot. I thought it helped make this new Spider-Man that we're seeing, this back to basics, if you will.
It's interesting to see him come into this because he's a fast artist, so he's the kind of artist you need on something like this. That's your big flagship title. And he comes in strong, but he's not creating his own characters, right? No. He's using all these old character designs, and he's bringing them back into the mix of Spider-Man. The only drawback to, I think, and the only issue I have with his art in Invincible is that a lot of his faces look the same. Identical.
Yeah.
So much so that sometimes it's a little confusing. Like when Fred and Peter Parker are steering, they're basically the same guy.
It really,
But, he's a fun artist, and like you said, the color really helped pop out that artwork.
And I think it's needed for someone like Spider-Man. He is a more colorful superhero with his quips, and I think if we want to talk about writing really quick,
let's talk about the writing.
I really think Nick Spencer got what I envisioned, what I've envisioned Spider-Man to be. He really had his quips down. He really had a lot of the good interactions, and it moved very fast for me.
Okay.
Even his internal dialogue, and I loved all the narration over top, because we have certain scenes that he's not even in it, but he's kind of narrating over about some of the villains, for instance. I really enjoyed the writing in it too.
I think it was a mix for me. It had its ups and downs. I enjoyed most of the dialogue.
Yeah.
A lot of pop culture references, which it's Spider-Man.
That's what I've expected. So. And he makes the joke too in there. He's like, I'm not Wolverine. Like I don't use the same stuff I've been using for years. Snick and Jean. Like
not funny.
It was hilarious.
But I think it's okay for Spider-Man to be like that, and also probably Boomerang. But when it comes to characters like Wilson Fisk, when he shows up, because he's now the mayor.
Yes.
And that was revealed in an issue of Daredevil, not within the pages of Amazing Spider-Man.
Because he's become Daredevil.
Just really strange to see him make jokes, really weird puns. But as far as the dialogue is good. It works with this.
Yeah.
But the story, I think it had its ups and downs. During the middle, I think it kind of slowed down a little bit for me. I had fun at the beginning, and I had fun towards the end, and I cannot wait for the payoff of every last page, the prologue of the story that's coming.
With the big bad,
Yeah, I think that's going to be really awesome. There were a lot of people that were really disappointed that Nick Spencer got the gig, but a lot of people were upset with the way that he wrote Captain America within the pages of Captain America and also in Secret Empire.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed his Deadly Foes story, so I was like, maybe this could work. If he has a mix of that and he understands the character, this could work. And it did. I seem
to see, he does.
And it did. And I had fun. Even, there were goofy things like the lizard teaching class. That was cool. The return of the, what is the particle thing that made him Spider-Man?
The isotope genome accelerator?
Nerd. Yes. That's why she's an English major.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
So we see the return of that, and then him splitting personalities, let's just say that. So there were, that part to me was a little slow, but the other stuff, it worked. So it balances it out. So, was there anything you wanted to add before our final score?
No, I think that's everything. I particularly enjoyed this run, and I'm really looking forward to reading volumes 2 and 3, which I already now have.
Okay.
So
what would you give it?
I would give this, I would say a solid 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5 is exactly what I was going to give it. Damn it.
Sorry.
No, it's cool.
We just think alike sometimes.
We do sometimes.
Yeah, because I understand where you're coming from. The storyline did drag in the middle for me, and that's because it does jump around a bit because we're changing perspectives. And
surprisingly, it took me a lot longer than I thought to read this, so it's pretty dialogue heavy too.
It is a lot, yeah.
I'm not sure why I'm saying dialogue heavy. Maybe it's because I'm used to the comics that we've been reviewing lately, because they take really no time. But this one took a little bit longer.
I think it's because there's also the narration of Peter Parker. A lot of the comics we haven't read, we haven't seen a lot of narration over top of the actual dialogue itself too.
Okay, so this contains, by the way, issues 1 through 5 and the free comic book day issue from last year. So it does contain all that. That kind of sets up the new status quo of Spider-Man during Nick Spencer's run. And that was it. Yeah. So let us know in the comments down below if you've already picked it up, if you read it, if you don't like Nick Spencer, or if you're willing to give it a shot. Sign us off, man.
Sounds good. All right, thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for notification of more great Near Mint condition content. Remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at Near Mint Con. And don't forget, we also do have a Patreon, so if you want to support our channel, click the link in our description for more information. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint.